Many people in the United States have been watching Telemundo's World Cup coverage, not just for the fact that it is in Spanish language coverage, but instead because of the fact that many of the commentators provide so much emotion, it really adds a lot to the viewing experience. So today I have the pleasure of being joined by one of those Telemundo World Cup commentators, Sammy Sadovnik. And Sammy, you are over there in Qatar right now. How are you doing today?
Fine, thanks for having me, Kyle. And we're excited because we are opening and start the last part of the World Cup, the most exciting.
And Sammy, you've been involved in a lot of games and a lot of memorable moments already, even though we haven't even started the last 8 of the competition. I'm just curious for you. I know some of the games you've called included the Croatia game against Japan, the Argentina game against Australia. What other games have you called for those that might not be so familiar with your voice?
Until yesterday, that the ends the phase group, and then the quarterfinals, round of 16. I've been calling 16 games, all on the venues. Thank God, due the short distances between each of the venues, so we can go to ever stadium available for us to call the games. Inside the the emotion and the passion of the fans. So yeah, I called 2 games from Uruguay, 2 games from Brazil, 1 from US, and otherwise 3 from Croatia. So nice combination of teams and exciting moments here in Qatar.
And Sammy, you mentioned the passion and emotion of the World Cup stadiums. And for a lot of us viewing at home, we kind of see commentators as a bridge to have that emotion transferred into our own homes here in the United States. I'm curious, do you see yourself as kind of a channel to bring that emotion and passion from the game into viewers back in the United States?
Yeah, that's our mission. I mean, when I start, this is my 8th World Cup. So when I start early, I'm now 57. I'm starting 13, 14 years old in my home country, Peru. So we try to, transport our passion through the radio, through the TV, to the audience. So in that case, I mean, in our experience, and of course in Spanish, we try to serve our audience with the best as we can. So I mean, it's not a bad or a good game. It's a game, and it's the football or soccer. It's in our blood. You know, we grew with that passion of soccer in South America or in my home country. So we try to transfer that to our audience in Spanish or in English and whatever they want to watch us.
Sammy, I think a thing that a lot of people have stand out when they're watching Spanish language coverage is those long goal calls that people are so famous for. And
Yeah.
I don't know how
Andres is famous for that. Yeah.
I don't know, Sammy, how in tune you are with your own statistics, if you will, but we looked it up. Your longest goal call at this World Cup has been 17 seconds. And I got to say, just from someone that has never done commentary, that seems absurd just from a physical standpoint. What is that something you have been able to do your entire life since you've been broadcasting games? As teenagers have these long goal calls, or is it something that you really have to practice at and work at to really perfect the technique?
Yeah, we try to, we try to improve our skills in as a play-by-play analyst or commentator. So you, with the experience of going through the years, you try to understand. I mean, what's the moment of the highs and lows of the game, and of course you have to. It's like a football player, a soccer player. You have to be calm. You have to hydrate. You have to, eat healthy. Try to exercise. It's like to be physical and mentality perfect for the call. So through the years, I've been improving that. In Spanish, we have some like stickers that we, try to make our own relationship with the audience as a play-by-play with some words and specific words with the referee or the yellow or red cards of different parts of the game. So you try to always improve that. So in that case, I mean, the call of the goal is the most exciting emotion that we can feel. The player in the pitch, and we are in the commentary position, and of course the audience at home.
And of course, your World Cup's not quite done yet, but looking back at the games you've already called, I'm curious if there's one call or goal that really stands out for you already at this World Cup.
Well, I love, I mean, the Brazil team, so it's kind of special for us. Call the scratch, the Brazil national team. Thank God I have the opportunity on Friday to call the quarterfinal game against Croatia, and it's been amazing to call a goal from Brazil, from Neymar or Richarlison or Rafinha, whatever you want, and a special also for the U.S. national team. You know, it's el equipo de todos, our nation team that we been a part of that team. So that calls are special for us. I mean, for me to try to improve and make those goals memorable.
Sammy, how hard is it to differentiate how long or how emotional a goal call is based on the team that is playing, the moment that it is, maybe the quality of the goal that's scored? Is it hard to really decide, or is it just one of those things that's in the moment, you know, what feels right? Here's how I'm going to call this goal.
I don't care. I mean, all goals are perfect. I mean, all goals or teams or moment of the game, it's different, but this is special for us. I mean, I try to call the same level of emotion and the same level of seconds, if you will, of each goal. Be Japan or be Croatia or be Senegal or Brazil, you know, but we try to make a standard goal call in each games, not only in the World Cup. We made it every week, the Premier League, and it's the same, you know. We love the game. I mean, it's in our bodies, in our blood. So for us, it's a blessing to be here to call a World Cup game for all our audience in Spanish and probably some in English too.
And I'm sure it's a blessing to be there, but I'm sure it's also very busy. You already mentioned you've done 16 games and still more to come. And you already kind
every
of touched
day,
on
right?
it. Yeah, you already touched on the preparation for games. I'm sure is taxing. You're one of these people that, you know, you like to enunciate, like to call the game as it is, like to be emotional with your viewers. What kind of preparation does that look like for you when you're calling so many games in a short stretch of time? Are there certain things you have to do to just prepare your vocal cords, or you just kind of take it day by day?
Yeah, first I prepare as a background of information. I mean, we try to well, we made that in the before. Well, we arrived here before a week before the World Cup starts. So I prepare each of the games that I already know to have to call. So in order of a squad, in order of how many games they played with the national team, how many goals they score, some specific storytelling of each of the players. I mean, you know, Ghana have 7 players that not born in Ghana, have descendants from that country, and try to, in the moment of the game, try to put that in context. Sometimes you can do it, sometimes not. I mean, I use the 15% of the information that I try to prepare before. Depends of how the game is it's going. And the other thing with the vocal cords, I have in the past, I have a serious problem with my vocal cords. In Miami goes to the phoniatric. It's a doctor that trained me with you know, diaphragmatic respiration, like a singer, you know, and try to avoid cold beverage, no alcohol. I don't smoke. Try to avoid you know, lemons or garlic or onions. It's like it's like a play. I'm a very professional in that thing. So now I'm 57, so I have to try to get in a good shape in everything.
And Sammy, I want to go back to how you say it's a blessing to call these games, and we love this sport because obviously we do. We're involved in it every day. How much of a personal high is it when you get to call a goal and see something dramatic happen, like the Perisic goal against Japan, for example, just something like that, or the Uruguay goal that you mentioned? How much of a personal high is that for you to be able to witness it in person and able to deliver a call in regards to that?
It's much different. There's 100% different. I mean, call the games and through the TV screen or inside the venue. You have all the big picture of the pitch and all the player movement, the tactics, also the reaction of the bench, of the trainer, of the coaches, and on the people that are making all the things before they enter to the pitch. So for us, it's really amazing to call those games on the venue. This is the first time, I think, in the history of the television in the U.S. that we call all the games. I mean, the 100% of the games on the venues, on the stadiums. I mean, 4 years ago in Russia, we made some of them in the IDC, but I mean, it's also for financial purposes. But now we have the 100% games in the stadiums. So for us, it's highly much difference to feel that to our audience. So in that case, I mean, all the goals and the moments and the emotions are quite different, making that in the stadiums.
Sammy, I don't want to put you on the spot for who you think will get farther in the tournament, but I do want to ask you what your dream matchup would be to call. I know a lot of people would say, I would love to call Argentina-Brazil, for example, or this upcoming England-France game. But for you, what is your dream matchup to call at this year's World Cup?
Well, of course, I don't know if they can advance to the semifinals, but it's Argentina-Brazil, of course. Depends of Netherlands and of course Croatia, but that's it's a South American classic. It's a South American derby between two of the most important teams in the world. So probably that's the game in semifinal, not the final even, because the final probably will be against South America and one team from Europe, maybe England, maybe France, who knows,
Yeah.
Portugal. But the semifinal against Brazil against Argentina will be, I mean, a dream come true.
Yeah, that will certainly be a fascinating one, Sammy. Just being at Qatar, and you already mentioned this is the first time being able to call all the games physically in the host country. What's that experience been like? Because I know a lot of people have been talking about, maybe the issues of Qatar, but in actually being there and being at the games, being able to travel to the different stadiums, what's that whole experience been like for you?
Perfect. I'm aware of that, but anyways, we felt really proud to be here, happy. I mean, we don't feel anything about around the game. We call the games and we go to the stadiums. The facility that you have in this World Cup is that you sleep the 45 days or the 40 days in the same bed at the same hotel room. You don't have to travel. You don't have to take any plane. You don't have to go through security at the airport. So have a layoff in the airport. So that's a great World Cup. We visit the 8 venues that are ready for the World Cup. Each one is amazing. I mean, the 974 stadium is a container stadium. I mean, they build the whole venue, the architecture with the containers, 20 and 40 feet. It's amazing. And the pitch are really in great conditions. The security, the people, the volunteers, all around the World Cup organization. It's one of the best experiences and the best World Cup that we feel after, 94.
So, Sammy, what's the next game that people can look forward to hearing you call for Telemundo?
Next, this coming Friday at 9:30, I think 9:30 a.m. Eastern time, 6:30 a.m. Pacific time is the pregame. It's Brazil against Croatia. Is the first game on that day. The second one will be called by Andres with Argentina, Netherlands, and on Saturday we have Morocco against Portugal with Copan at the same time, 9:30, 6:30 Pacific, and then England against France with Andres. I left one game, I think, in quarterfinal, and hopefully one semifinal. Hopefully, if not, the third place on next Saturday.
Well, Sam, I gotta say, it has been really enjoyable. I've been watching through Telemundo. It has been great to hear not just your voice, but like you mentioned, all the other commentators over on Telemundo. And I want to thank you for doing this and giving us some insight into what it's like being a commentator at the World Cup. And as you mentioned, it's been pretty busy there, I'm sure.
Yeah, this is our first rest day in 25 days, I think, but we're in good shape. We're, Carlos Vilardo, the former champion of the world with Argentina in Mexico 86, he says everything, and every time that in the World Cup you never sleep. It's like New York, but it's true. It's the emotion, the passion.
Right.
We sleep 4 or 5 hours per day, but it's really nice to be. It's a blessing. It's a blessing to be here. Thanks to Telemundo, and thanks to you, Kyle, and hopefully the Spanish speakers and also the English speakers can have a great time with us in Spanish play-by-play and calling the games.
For sure, Sammy. And like I already said, look forward to watching you on Friday. Thanks again for doing this. Hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Kyle.
For sure.